Alright guys, it's time to grease up the grease zerks. I got my grease gun and I'm just gonna turn the zerks a little bit so that I can get the gun onto them and pump up the swing arm full of grease. I do not want to break anything, so let's get the cap off. As I'm pumping in grease, you can see the old grease coming out, look. So this will get more into the gun. Boom. And it's packed. Oh. Maybe it was under pressure. Yeah, I guess it was. Alright, after a bunch of hassling, both sides packed up with grease, there is basically no play now. Mucho better. It's finally 2021 and I've been super busy with robotics and school, so I haven't been working on this for a while, but we are back to the build, baby. Today, I'm gonna work on the wiring. We got the chart and I brought soldering iron and a battery. I just have to tackle this mess. I need to buy an ignition switch with a key that goes right here. So before I actually start with the electrical, I'm gonna see what kind of throttle tube I need on Rocky Mountain ATVMC, which actually, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, obviously not. But they have really good prices and they have a ton of products, so I always use them. So I need to find something that looks somewhat close to this. I'm gonna go down my list here, kind of see what I need. I already took all the stuff that I have off. But yeah, mainly I'm just gonna need the tube and the cable and the switch and the key, and then all this can come after it gets running. So yeah, we'll find the throttle tube. Okay, so I think I found a replacement for this. It's not exact. See that, like, the ridge there is not the same. But I'm just gonna buy it, and if it doesn't fit, I'll see if I can return it, and if not, then oh well, I have an extra throttle tube. This one's only $6, so it's not gonna really hurt my budget at all. Added to cart. To start with the wiring, it is a mess. I'm just gonna cut off like the old tape flaps. And I brought my soldering iron, so like I know these cables go somewhere. I'm gonna probably use some extra wire from here and solder it together, but I do want to keep the color consistent, so I might not use extra length. But I'm gonna get rid of some of this old like stretchy tape. Clean it up a bit, check my diagram, put an ignition switch for order. We have our solder. And to solder, I'm just gonna heat up the wires until this starts melting. I think I found the next wires we have to solder. So here is, I think it's red and white and then blue and white. So it would be RW and then LW coming straight off the starter relay. I know these have to go together because they're the same color and they're like spliced together, but I'm gonna get them soldered together. So these are next. These are pretty horrible since the wires weren't in great shape. Now we have to coat the other ones. So these wires, they're gonna take a little bit longer since they are, you know, longer wires. The wires are coated. We can just solder them together now. Yeah. Should be able to just lay them on top of each other and then voila, magic happens. So we're not gonna need, we just need a big blob to get heat on them. Let's start with blue. Then same thing here. Okay, so this is done, we just need to put tape on it. I just looked at my chart. I was following this wire and I saw a fuse and I was like, oh, that's interesting, let me see. So I saw this is a fuse. I think it's extra. This one's still good, so we'll keep that. Then I cracked open this and this fuse is blown. Well, obviously the guy took out, you know, a ton of wires, but maybe it was just a fuse that was his main problem. He didn't have to take out all this extra stuff. I should probably clean the contacts first. So looking in this fuse box, I found another 15 amp fuse that I can use. These ones are like new. I would use this, but it's really crusty and like rusty, so I don't think that's the best. So we're just gonna put one of these in the bike and then I guess leave this one as the extra, just so you know like what it is without the diagram. Alright, changing a fuse is very easy actually. Basically, you take the old fuse out. This is the new one. You pop it in to the connector. You'll hear it snap. Pop the old one out. Pop the new one in. And voila, you change the fuse. Old fuse is garbage. Adios. Connecting straight to the battery here is straight from the starter relay and the fuse, and they both go to positive, and those were two loose wires. So what I'm gonna do is solder these together, and then we'll just have one eye loop instead of getting two different eye loops and stacking them. This way this will be like just one connection here and then one connection to the positive, and it should be ready to go. Well. It's been a super long time since I've been up here. It's literally April. I probably haven't been here since February or January because of my leg. I haven't really been moving around. But enough excuses. Today, I'm gonna try to finish up the wiring. I don't have a battery right now because it's on my dad's motorcycle, but I will be putting this ignition switch on. I got this in the mail. It's used, but I don't really care because I need it. It's pretty, I mean, it works. Dirty, but it'll go right here or wherever. The key will be sticking out. And that's exactly what we need to complete the electrical part. Hopefully today's short and quick and easy because I'm ready to get this thing running. I finished tidying up the wires. The switch is in. It works. As you can see, I've got some paint out, and what I'm doing is these rusty spots I'm sanding off and then painting over, and I know it's not even close to the right blue, but I'm just gonna leave it. It'll be like an accent color or whatever. Quick tip: before you put your arms on stuff, make sure you don't lean up against something you've already painted. So that's gonna have some of my DNA in it. Yeah, I'm trying to put the shock. Oh my god. Okay, make sure you pay attention to what you're doing because I'm gonna end up painting my eyeballs somehow. Just be careful. I've been putting the airbox and shock back on. As you can see, shock's in there. The airbox is on, and I noticed I just pulled all this out from behind the sprocket here. Yeah, the box is pretty much on. I just have to get the filter on, put the carb on, put the fuel line from the carb to the tank, put everything back on, and then as soon as I get a battery, I'm gonna try and start it. Then if it runs, I'm going to change the oil, tidy things up. After it's running, I'm gonna paint the rest of it, maybe get all the new plastics, but right now it's just the essential. Right now we need fuel, air, and spark. I haven't tested spark because I don't have a battery. Don't know if fuel works. Air is probably yes, because I just cleaned out the carburetor. Alright, It is another day, as you can see. I'm a little bit upset because I was about to buy another dirt bike, 252 stroke Yamaha, for $1,000, and the guy texted me right as I was leaving to drive an hour away, texted me, "Oh, sorry, I just sold it," when we had like planned this whole thing since yesterday. PSA to anyone selling anything: make sure you coordinate your sales. Make sure you don't like intersect with buyers and stuff. You don't know like how much the buyer has to rearrange their day to actually go buy your thing, whatever you're selling. So mine wasn't too bad. I know I had to send my mom to the bank while I was coming home from school, and physical therapy, then coming here to the shop to borrow a work van. I know some people have it worse, so just be mindful, be understanding of other people. It never hurts. Anyway, I brought fuel line. We're gonna hook up the carburetor to the bike. I might paint a little bit more. It's only really to get rid of the rust. I'm gonna pretty much start putting this thing back together, but pretty much all that's left is the carburetor, air filter. I need to throw the gas tank on. After that, put a battery in it, and it should probably run. Alright, so right now, like I said, carburetor's going in, and so is my fuel line. I literally don't know if the fuel line's even the right size yet, so I guess we'll find out when I go to put it on. Alright, one thing I'm gonna start on is getting this bolt right here is loose, so I gotta get that tightened. And just to get more leverage, I'm gonna put my legs here. Okay, that should be tight. Yep, and it still moves, so we're good. For the carburetor, this should be pretty simple. We'll get all this stuff hooked up, and then yeah, I'll get it in, get it all hooked up, and then update you. Alright, the carburetor is now on, as you can see, and I just set the gas tank on. I just need to get some gas. The fuel line is gonna come out of here and then hook straight into there. I'm pretty sure with a battery and just like this, it can probably run, or at least like idle. The exhaust isn't on. As long as I hook up that, and then fuel line has air, has the ignition switch, so should be running fairly soon. Alright, so it's getting kind of late. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I did a lot of little things to it, and it's slowly coming together. Starting to look like a dirt bike again. I'm trying to ride it all spring and maybe sell it to buy a nice bike. So, peace. Till tomorrow.